You make me laugh.
You're my best friend. Today we're going to visit a little bit about, do you believe in humor? Or how do you use humor? Or what about humor?
Yeah, it's an important part of your relationship. Certainly with ours.
I have to laugh to keep from crying sometimes, John. I got to.
Anywhere from looking at some of these episodes on TVs of these what you call low quality criminals.
Oh my goodness. No, lack of quality.
Lack of quality
You can't
criminals.
do no better than that.
Folks that put on some clothes and you just wonder, wow, did you really want to do that? Easter time is coming, so we get to see some of the best suits. And then just kind of those spaces we mark out for one another that just makes us laugh.
Yeah.
Makes us laugh.
It really is a good part of my day. Part of how I try to take care of myself is to be sure, like even at work, I have to have one good, authentic laugh a day. And if it's at your expense, I do apologize. I got to have it, coworker. So there's probably some things you shouldn't tell me. I had this one coworker come in trying to really tell me the story, and I'm like, I need you to step to the door, put your hand on the doorknob and hold it, and then step backwards. And he's like, you want me to shut the door in my own face? Yeah, I think that'd be a little better if you do it than if I do it, because you in here with that crazy stuff again. But just trying to use every skill I can find to get through the stress, and then to also get back to my joy. So we have there's some things you do and I'm like, I cannot wait to tell Gail. Because I can already hear her little laugh in the background, and then
That's
you
my
ain't going to be
sister.
able to catch your breath, and then I'm just going to be on the side, laid out, laughing at y'all.
And the foundation of that is my first set of friends that was the template of even how I chose friends was my siblings. I had so much fun, even to this day, and it's beyond our sibling set, and you know this. You get all of our family together, there is laughter as if we spend every day.
Your cousins are like your siblings.
Yeah, everyone was first.
Raised as a tribe.
We were all together, and it's that same kind of vibe, and laughter was a great part of it. But I'd never viewed laughter, and I'm thinking about what you just said, as a coping mechanism or even as a distraction for something else. It was just always been a place for me that's necessary no matter where I'm at. I judge how comfortable I'll ever be in a situation by how much of that embraces humor and laughter. Mm-hmm. So even in choosing you, I'm certain that part of it was like, because she has a good sense of, she's this professional woman, she's beautiful, she's family oriented, she's loving, she's compassionate, she thinks outside of herself,
You're making me sound like a benefit.
You are. Notice how I didn't say word? And in that was like, because with my siblings, you ever had that belly laugh where you laugh so hard you can't catch your breath? I got that from them, and wherever I'm at, that's my expression. When I'm happy, you hear me. Mm-hmm. I don't try to control it. I don't try to decrease its volume. You get all of it, because that's the essence of who I am, and to be able to share that with someone else.
I got real tickled the other week at work, but I forgot to text my cousins. I said, it's a wonder we didn't get a whooping for what we did at church. Because it was me, Lisa, and Charles, and we just literally was laid out in the pew laughing. And we should have got a whooping for that. I can't imagine somebody didn't tell on us. But we were at, it was probably the Easter Christmas practice, and there was a young family there. And he was nervous little guy, and he was like, look, it is the star. And me, Lisa, and Charles looked at each other and just laid out laughing. I don't know how we got out of that without a beating. Clouded at church. And we had little laughs like that through the years, and certainly with my girlfriends. Because, as you know, I don't really understand jokes. I go all in, thinking it's one thing, and people are looking at me like, how dumb do you have to be to not understand this? Whereas other stuff is just literally very funny to me, and it's very clear that it's funny, and nobody else but my girlfriends can see it the same way. So, I have those issues in my life. I was on the phone last night talking to one of my sisters, and we was trying to remember the name of this newspaper. And it's called The Evening World, WHIRL. And it was out of St. Louis, Missouri. Allegedly, it's still in play, but we have to figure out how to re-engage with it. At one point, they said that they were going to put it online, but it's not online. Mm-hmm. Now, these people told the story of what happened in the neighborhood like you and I be telling the story of what happened in the neighborhood, except they put it in print and people bought it. And say, Miss Jenkins around the corner said what she saw was. And then, you're just like, oh my goodness, this is some crazy, crazy stuff that's happening in the world. But true, very true.
Well, I think part of the attraction for humor for me, too, is the creativity that it introduces. Something about humor moves you also to a place that's broader than the circumstance. My brother was a great, I want to say storyteller, but some of that stuff is just straight up fabrication. So something about humor always makes you want to enhance the story.
No, because you had always said me and Billy would have been good friends.
Yeah, y'all would have.
But I ain't making nothing up. I'm telling you what really happened.
But humor, earlier you said something about humor at the expense of other people. That's not the humor I like as much, but I get it. People do that. But also there's
I'm not talking about like you at the comedy club and they like, brother, what was you thinking when you put that on? Not that. Not that I got to come back and shoot the place up humor.
So what is your humor at the expense of other people?
Just short of you got to come back and shoot the place.
That's what I'm saying.
That's all I can go with, John.
So the humor always goes other places other than where it's actually going. And I think that's something that could, go back and shoot the place up. And the other part of it is something about making other people laugh makes you want to make them laugh more. Mm-hmm. And I think that's where my brother was. If he got to laugh, just like a comedian, he's going to increase the velocity of the humor because he wants to laugh. I don't know if that's because of attention, or I don't know if it's the power you have to bring joy to someone's life. Maybe that moment right there, no matter what the story was enough to make them forget about some other stuff. So maybe they're, like, contrary to what I just said a minute ago, maybe there is some value in humor being used as a distraction for some realities that can just absorb so much of your time.
Well, that, and it also has a way of helping you put it into better perspective.
Okay.
Ain't no point in me getting all balled up in a fireball of anger over this because I don't have control over none of this mess. And so it's probably best that I find a little thread of humor in this so I can walk away and not go to jail. Because I really thought y'all wanted me to go to jail today when you brought this to me this way. I couldn't at first see any way out of going to jail. So I'm thinking, let me find the humor in this. I can walk away from this. So we got this silly little dog.
Sir Brutus Jax Hyman. Our animals have last names, y'all.
He's the Morkie.
And he's the
Sir Brutus Jax Hyman.
J-A-X.
The Morkie. Now, this dog is driving me crazy. But he brings quite a bit of joy to everybody else in the house. And when I ain't paying attention, being all serious about what he just put me through, he got me laughing too. But this dog had me convinced. I thought, he's walking beside me because he's going to fulfill one of my fantasies. So I walked down the room. He walked with me. I walked back up the room. He was with me. I walked back and I looked down and he was gone. He's back there looking at me like, you doing a good job, Toy. Go ahead, girl. You know how to walk good. And I said, is this dog trying to train me to walk? I hate that dog. I'm telling the dog, could you just do one thing I want you to do because you got me hating myself for you. I'm mad Did you hear now? I was insane. I told you not to buy me a dog, John. This is your fault.
I bought the dog. It's a Christmas present.
I said never do it.
That dog costs over $800.
Okay, so this is part of our perpetual problems. I told you not to buy me a dog no matter what I said.
That dog costs over $800. And she got the nerve to say she ain't happy.
I don't want that dog.
We're going to learn to be happy. $800, you're going to get some happiness out of us.
Nothing I want him to do.
But you know, the other day, yesterday, twice, Toi called her putting together this little whatever so he can only get to certain parts of the house because he don't behave himself. So he'll find something to chew on or dismantle or whatever else. He found his way back into her room after she thought she had him, barricaded way over here. And then he just comes to the room and just kind of looks like, oh, I see y'all in here. This is a nice little room. Until we say sit down, and then he runs because he know he ain't supposed to be in there. And I'm thinking, yeah, there's some humor and some joy in this, but at the same time, I'm thinking, what in the world was, why did I know how Toi is. She have a dream about something. And then when it becomes reality, it's like, well, why did you tell me to eat that ice cream? What you get a dog for? And so I guess humor like love sometimes kind of takes advantage of us. It sucks us in.
It really does. Yeah, that dog got me.
Humor's vulnerable.
It is. Because then you know what really tickles me and you might not be as impressed with it. I'm not going to tell the story, but I'm just going to preface it with such as how we got to Lit Bridge.
Oh. Lit Bridge is my funk band, but it was based upon a story we seen on TV where a man killed another man.
We couldn't hold it together.
Killed another man. This is not funny. Yeah, this ain't funny. This death is not funny. This is not some morbid thing. But the man killed another man, put him in a bag, and decided he was gonna throw him off the bridge.
Camera! Cut the camera! We can't get this together!
Wait a minute. He's gonna throw him off the bridge, but the bridge is all lit up and he gets out and the body's too heavy for him to throw off the bridge. So the man just leaves the man on the bridge.
On the lit bridge.
Where everyone see what he was doing. And I'm thinking, now, you can't make this stuff up.
This is another lack of quality criminal.
But anyway, I took out of that, I'm going to have a funk band I'm going to call it Lit Bridge. But the basis of it was this crazy story. So I'm just thinking, that's what humor does to us. It takes us to these wild places that enhances our heart. So we can look at murder scenes and not be so overwhelmed by it. But anyway, as you can clearly see, this is just like our love, our humor is real.
A little bit to the left somewhere.
Yeah, we get to do this a lot.
We have to do it a lot. We got a lot of people around there that
we get to do. And I think it's important for you to learn how to do this too. Find that space. And like we said, humor, just like love, is a vulnerable space. You have to have an ability to release, to let humor do this kind of stuff to you and be good with that. Just like love, you have to be comfortable enough with being that vulnerable to make you look like you're in love. And that's not a comfortable place for people, but once you learn to make it comfortable, and that it's a safe space too. I can trust you with my humor, just like I can trust you with my pain, trust you with my love. And that just makes all of it better. So we hope you've been blessed today and learned something from this, and we look forward to seeing you next time. God bless you.
You weren't supposed to tell that story. Bye.